All right, once again, we're broadcasting from the 30th annual SMRP conference here in Raleigh, North Carolina. My name is Scott McKenzie. We're talking with Mason, RDI Technologies, motion amplification. Talk to us about the tech right there.
Yeah, so basically what we have is a camera-based vibration tool. So we're able to point a camera at any object, and if it moves, we're able to pick up on that particular displacement levels. We can also track frequency and type waveform and all kinds of data from each pixel.
Why is that important?
It's important to understand how an asset or an object moves and to understand its health. So if it's supposed to be moving, then we can measure that. If it's not supposed to be moving and we can measure it, then we can create action from that.
So the reality is that you've got a display here. It's spinning. Natural eyes, natural vision, it looks like it's fine.
Right.
But with the motion amplification, you're able to sort of highlight and bring out the challenges of this moving part, right?
Correct. So, when we amplify this image now, it's going to have all available frequencies. But if there's a particular frequency that we're interested that we want to kind of dive into, we can actually filter that video and show only motion related to a specific frequency. And that could be a fault frequency that we're interested in finding.
So you're able to say, okay, in this particular example here, you can highlight different frequencies, then dive into that frequency depending on what it is, and then analyze it. Does the RDI technology outside of the camera, the obvious component, have that ability to be able to analytically sort of say, okay, we've got this challenge, and help people saying, yeah, I see where we need to go with that.
So, certainly if there's a loose bolt or a soft foot issue or a misalignment, we're able to identify that really easily in the software. We can put motion vectors, or we can put color maps, we can put phase maps, and those are the obvious relationships. If there's non-obvious things that are going on, but that are also moving, that's where your vibration analyst background would come in.
Right, and so I'm sitting there going, okay, there is something going on here. I see it, I get it. Then I can, as if I'm the business owner, can take the next step and say, I need to get a vibration analyst out here and sort of hone in on it. Is that correct?
Sure. So it's the difference between me as a tech might walk to you as a business owner or decision maker, and I show you a graph with squiggly lines, and what does that mean to you? Maybe nothing. But if I show you a video, and all of a sudden my pump is moving, and it's
baseball right to that.
You got to admit, it's pretty cool out there. You've got great displays that are just pretty dramatic, and really you don't see that with the naked eye, but you're able to see it in the video itself. Okay, one last question. Let's talk about the dog. We got the technology, we got all this stuff. Now we've got this dog. What makes this so important, and what's the marriage between RDI technology and this robotic dog?
So all the things that we can do with motion amplification, the power that contains, requires a lot of gear setup, right? So if I'm going to do a route base, or I'm going in hazardous areas or tight spaces, that can be a challenge. So we thought, hey, let's put this automated on the back of a robot. So Spot, the Boston Dynamics dog, is carrying our camera with a light, so it can walk up to an asset, make a determination. Does the light need to come on or not? It will take a piece of data and then download that on the server or upload it to a network. We can also filter the data acquisition based on parameters. So if you walk up to an asset and you don't want to take data because it's not vibrating enough, we can skip it. So you're not wasting time taking data that you may or may not need.
So what you're saying is that I'm going to take this tool here, I'm going to install my camera, I'm going to just let it do whatever it does, and then be able, as opposed to me, human person, coming out there with the camera and setup and all this stuff and constantly moving on down. You're just saying, hey, here's an automated way of being able to get that visibility into your assets from a motion amplification.
Correct. So I'll give you an example. I was in a steel plant a couple weeks ago with a guy that had the camera tripod, the whole setup. In the time that it took our guys to diagnose one pump and get a lot of different angles and shots of it, Spot was able to run an entire route, the entire process 4 times. So it frees the labor up for higher value work. So you can do those deep dives, you can do repairs, you can do planned maintenance, you can do all the things that you need to, and just let Spot go take all the data.
And in this world of having difficulty finding people, that is a great solution.
Huge, yeah.
It's a massive game changer.
Force multiplier.
Mason, thank you very much. All right, once again, 30th annual SMRP conference. We're here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mason, RDI Technologies, motion amplification. That's great tech. We're going to have another great conversation shortly, so stay tuned.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.